Imagine a 65-year-old man standing on a battlefield. A grandmother secretly decoding enemy messages. A retired school teacher training an entire battalion. A 70-year-old farmer rescuing soldiers under the cover of darkness. And a 72-year-old woman running the most dangerous war supply network in Europe. World War II wasn't just fought by young soldiers. It was shaped, and in many ways, saved by seniors, people in their 60s, 70s, even 80s. These are the untold stories of the elders who refused to step aside when the world needed them most. World War II, 1939 to 1945, was the deadliest conflict in human history. More than 100 million people from over 30 nations took part in it. We often imagine war as the battlefield of young men, 18, 20, 25-year-olds. But what we forget is that behind almost every major victory, behind every intelligence breakthrough, every successful resistance mission, there were experienced elders, people with decades of wisdom, courage, and resilience. In this video, we explore 5 extraordinary things seniors did in World War II, roles that changed the course of history, but rarely get the spotlight. These are not myths, not exaggerations. These are real stories, backed by historical accounts. Get ready for a journey into the courage of people who proved that bravery doesn't age. Seniors who joined the battlefield too old to fight. Not in World War II, when war broke out. Thousands of older men, some even in their late 60s, volunteered for active combat. Story: Henry Allingham, age 46 to 91, of the last surviving World War I veterans. Henry Allingham helped train young pilots during World War II. His experience saved countless lives in the early, chaotic days of the war when air combat tactics were still evolving. Story: The Home Guard, ages 45 to 75, Britain, formed a volunteer force known as the Home Guard. Made up mostly of older men who were considered too old for regular military duty. Many were retired soldiers. Some were factory workers. Some were farmers in their 60s and 70s. Their official motto: "You are never too old to serve." They guarded railways, ammunition depots, and coastal areas, freeing younger soldiers for frontline combat. Many fought in surprise German air raids. Some even died defending their towns. Imagine a 68-year-old man, hands shaking with age, but eyes burning with purpose, standing watch on a cold British night, knowing that if Germany invades, he may be the last line of defense. Seniors as master strategists and advisors. War isn't just won with guns. It's won with decisions, and seniors played some of the most important advisory roles. Story: Winston Churchill, age 65, during war. When Churchill became Prime Minister in 1940, many believed he was too old to lead. They were wrong. His booming speeches, sharp mind, and iron resolve inspired not just Britain, but the entire world. He often stayed awake until 3 or 4 a.m., strategizing, writing, reading reports, and drafting decisions that shaped the outcome of the war. Story: Charles de Gaulle's mentors. De Gaulle often consulted retired French generals, men in their 60s and 70s, for strategic guidance during his resistance movement. Why seniors were critical in strategy? They understood war from previous conflicts. They remained calmer under pressure. They made decisions based on decades of experience, not impulse. In many situations, their advice prevented disasters and saved tens of thousands of lives. Story. Seniors in intelligence and code break-in. When age meets genius, intelligence is one of the least discussed aspects of World War II, where seniors shined the most. Story. The 72-year-old codebreaker at Britain's secret code-breaking center, Bletchley Park. Dozens of elderly linguists, mathematicians, and professors, including scholars in their 60s and 70s, worked day and night to decode German messages. One of the most remarkable cases was a 72-year-old classics professor who could translate ancient languages faster than most machines. He helped decode variations of the German Enigma cipher, saving thousands of Allied troops from ambushes. Story. Elder women in intelligence. Many older women, especially widows and retired teachers, served as radio operators, cryptographers, message typists, intelligence analysts. Their attention to detail and patience made them invaluable. Some worked 16-hour shifts. Some never told their families what they did until decades later. Why seniors excelled in intelligence? They had higher literacy and language skills. They had professional backgrounds in math, logic, and philosophy. They were less emotionally impulsive. They could work long hours with intense concentration. Their work shortened the war by at least 2 years, according to historians. Seniors in resistance movements. In occupied France, a 70-year-old farmer named Etienne Boulenger used his farmhouse as a safe route for Allied pilots shot down by German aircraft. Over 2 years, he secretly rescued more than 40 airmen. He hid them in barns, fed them, disguised them as workers, guided them through forests at night, all while Gestapo officers frequently patrolled his area. He was never caught. The 65-year-old Polish resistance courier. In Poland, a retired postman, aged 65, carried secret messages and weapons through German checkpoints, using the excuse that he was just an old man delivering letters. He helped the underground movement arm thousands of fighters. Elder women in resistance networks. One of the largest networks in Europe was run by a 72-year-old grandmother who owned a textile shop. She smuggled supplies, forged documents, and passed coded messages hidden inside the linings of clothing. No one suspected her. That was her greatest weapon. Seniors running the war machine, factories, farms, and supply chains. Victory depends on supplies, bullets, uniforms, tanks, food, medicine. And seniors were the backbone of this unseen war. Retired engineers returned to work. Older engineers in their 60s and 70s came out of retirement to repair vehicles, build engines, design machinery, train young factory workers. Without them, production would have slowed dramatically. Elder women in factories. Grandmothers across Europe and America worked long shifts assembling bombs, aircraft, parts, uniforms, ammunition belts. Some worked during the day and at night because young men had gone to war. Senior farmers feeding nations. Much of Europe was starving. Older farmers kept agriculture running, while younger farmers were drafted for combat. A 73-year-old Italian farmer famously managed a 200-acre field alone, producing enough wheat to feed an entire town. Why seniors were the backbone of the supply chain? They had decades of trade experience. They worked with fewer mistakes. They trained younger workers quickly. They understood machinery and tools better than new recruits. Their labor kept armies fed, armed, and moving. Conclusion: the war that needed the wisdom of age. World War II wasn't won only by youthful strength. It was won equally by the courage, intelligence, and resilience of seniors. They patrolled coastlines, cracked enemy codes, shaped military strategy, fought in resistance movements, and kept factories and farms alive. They proved that age is not a barrier to bravery. That experience can be as powerful as physical strength. And that when the world is in danger, heroes rise no matter their age. If you found these stories inspiring, imagine how many more remain untold. History remembers soldiers, but today, we remember the elders who served with wisdom, courage, and fire in their hearts. Thanks for watching. Subscribe for more forgotten stories of history.